I'm sure we can all relate to this situation, whether you're the kid in the story or the adult, but it goes a little something like this. Get off that video game and come do something important. And then the response would be, no, I'm in the middle of a match. But is that match really all that bad? Well, video games have been proven to have a positive impact on our mental and physical health, which is something that we should be improving at times, especially now in 2020. And so that brings us to our problem. We find ourselves not having enough time to work on our health. And whether that be because a workday is too long and stressful and we just want to come home to watch TV, or because we want to go party and clear our mental health while we party with our friends. But because of these situations, we have led to this. According to an article published on November 18th, 2020 by Cleveland Clinic, 80% of the US adults and children aren't getting enough exercise for optimal health, showing us that we aren't being very active and that the US health has been on the decline. And like stated before, our mental health is also taken in a factor because of the pandemic. And according to an online guide from the CDC about mental health, you may experience increased stress during this pandemic. Fear and anxiety can be overwhelming and cause strong emotions. And because of this, we can't cast aside our health, and we must overcome it. And so now I come to my proposal of how to fix our situation. We must simply work on our health with the enjoyment of video games. Well, you may be wondering, well, why video games? And I can answer that very quickly. It's because first, they're fun, and second, they're accessed easily by everybody. And that leads me to my point, which is getting games. If you have a smartphone and you access your app store, you can find thousands to millions of free applications to play video games on. Or if you have a home console, you can buy games for your PlayStation or your Xbox, and even your PC on online gaming platforms such as Steam, where you can purchase and play games. And so, I would not be proposing video games as a solution to our problem if they did not come with their benefits. And video games help us in a multitude of ways, such as, according to Dr. Beth Bach, people who played physically active video games continue to do more exercises than a standard group because they got more enjoyment, better managing of stress and depressive symptoms, felt more engaged in physical activity, and were more confident about their ability to exercise than people doing standard exercises. And just to reinforce our point about mental health and the motivation that comes with playing video games, we have another research paper from frontiersin.org, and they state, depressed moods have been found to be significantly lowered in moderate players of video games compared to those who never play video games and those who play video games to an extreme excess. And while we clear up the mental health benefits, we should move on to physical benefits. Like stated by Dr. Beth Bach, people who play physical demanding video games have been seen to have more motivation for actual exercise, and we can see this in games like Just Dance, where you have to mimic dance moves. And so you do all this while burning calories and having fun. I'd also like to bring up FPSs, or first-person shooters. According to Professor Daphne Balaver at the University of Rochester, she has stated, "We found that action video games, or FPSs, train the brain to process the existing visual information more efficiently, and the improvements last for months after gameplay stopped." And so in a sense, she's saying that because we are playing FPS games, our mind's cognitive ability rises significantly because we have to track many more objects in video games than we do in normal life. Also, in her research, she has found that FPS games can have a positive effect on pre-existing conditions like cataracts. And so that leads us to our conclusion. I have proposed our problem and solution to our mental and physical health decline over an area, especially like 2020, where we've been stuck inside. And so I challenge you to work on your health, whether it be physically or mentally, however you want it. But video games could help. And with that, remember, video games aren't all that bad, and if you do decide to use them, do not use them to an excess, as they could lead to more problems than do good for you. And have fun and stay healthy.